people, God's people, man, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, Melanated, and we're out here loving, living, and enjoying life. There is something that I got on my mind today, Melanated. I'm going to do a little ranting, so stick around and hear what I got to say. These corporations, American corporations, they have no conscience or care for you. They want your money, but they want you to give them your money on their terms. They have policies and they have procedures. And so sometimes you have to let them know that you have policies and that you have standards and that you got procedures. Case in point, back on Tuesday, our internet went down. And we left and went somewhere and came back. It was going up and down when we left. And it was down. And it was down for like 20 minutes. So I told my wife to call him. She called him and got him on the phone. Excuse me. And we went through all of the checks that you have to go through. You know, you got to tell them how many lights is on. You got to unplug it, do all that. Did all that. Okay. Didn't have to unplug it, but they gave us some other stuff that we had to do. Then the guy says, well, we got to get a technician out there. But we don't have one till Monday. The following Monday. That's what, 6 days. And so I got on the phone with him. I said, you know, that's not acceptable. He said, but there's nothing I can do about it. We don't have it. I said, I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but you're not listening to what I am saying. And I'm giving you some clues on how to handle these situations in case you find yourself in it. You don't have to just accept what they tell you. And we need to stop accepting what they tell you. So I said, that's just unacceptable to me. I said, I've got things going on. We use the internet a lot. We got this, we're doing that. And he was like, well, I understand that it's a tremendous inconvenience, but la-di-di, la-di-da. I said, okay, I get that. And when you're dealing with the first person you talk to in these situations, you don't want to press them too hard. You don't want to be rude and kind. I was very respectful to him, nice to him, but my tone said I was serious. And so finally I said, well, if there's nothing you can do for me, that's totally unacceptable. You know, maybe I need to go with another provider. They can come out and set everything up. And he was like, well, I don't want you to do that, but there's nothing I can do. I said, well, let me talk to your manager. So it took about 5 or 6 minutes for the manager, so-called manager, got on the phone. And she said, sir, I understand from whatever his name was that you're having internet problems. I said, that's correct. She said, well, let me pull up the calendar. And it took a good while for her to pull up the calendar, maybe 2-3 minutes. And she's smoothing me, trying to have general conversation and be nice as she possibly can. And I'm going along with it. And then she pulls it up. She said, looks like he's right, that we can't do anything before Monday of next week. But you can get the smart home app on your phone and you can do what you need to do there. If something comes open, you'll see it there, and then you can book that spot. I told her, I said, no, not really interested in that. I said, what I want is, I either want somebody to come out sooner or I want compensation for that. I said, now I'm not demanding anything, or I'm not forcefully trying to assert myself on you. But what I am telling you is that just like you're telling me your policy and procedure, I'm telling you mine, and that is unacceptable for me to be a paying customer and wait 6 days for someone to come out and fix my internet. She said, well, sir, we can give you, for the 6 days, we can give you from, and I think she said it come to like $12. I said, no, it came to $6, I think. Came to $6. I said, no, that's not acceptable. That's not enough. I said, the only thing I will accept will be that my month is free. She said, well, that's against policy. We can't do that. I said, listen, ma'am, one more time. I am not trying to force you to do anything, but I'm just telling you that as a customer, that's unacceptable as a consumer, and that you must want me to go somewhere else because apparently your company doesn't care about its customers. She said, oh, yes, we do. I said, no, you don't. You can't tell me that you care about your customer, and you're telling me that you can't give me a reasonable discount. You can't get anybody out here in a reasonable time. Basically, you're just saying, we don't care about you. She said, well, what I can do is a one-time thing where I can give you some more, and I can't remember how much more she said. But anyway, it came to like $36. So that's over half of our internet bill. So I said, cool. I said, I'll accept that. I probably could have pushed and got a little more, but I was accepting of that. And plus the internet had came back up again. It was going up and down and so on. So I said, cool. So she gave me $36 off and set the appointment time out. So what I'm saying to you is, don't accept what these companies tell you that they are positive. Assert them your policies, because you have rights, but they're not going to honor your rights if you don't do anything, say anything. They're not going to properly compensate you. They're not going to worry about getting somebody out on time unless you make yourself known. And sometimes you got to go to that third manager. Well, I want to speak to somebody over you. And I probably could have did that and got the full month, but like I said, at that point, I had other stuff to do. So here is what I'm saying. American corporations don't care about you. We have a box store, the blue big box store. Not the orange one, but the blue one. The one that I go to that's closest to me. And it is atrocious, the service there. You can go in to buy a chainsaw and say, I want some help with a chainsaw. Ask the first blue vest you see. And they'll tell you, well, I work in appliances, but I'll get you somebody. Nobody ever comes. See another blue vest. Well, I work in paint, but I'll get you someone. So after about 30, 40 minutes, somebody probably comes. And I'm not exaggerating this or overly exaggerating it, because this has happened several times to me. I've even had conversations with other people in the store who go through the same thing at that store, and nobody seems to care. You can ask, and it's not the employee's fault. I don't blame the employees because they're not making jack squat. So I don't blame them for not being motivated or energized. I blame the company for not properly training, and because they don't really care. Because you can go in there and ask some young college student for a 16-penny nail. They don't have a clue. You can ask them for a coupling for a half-inch PVC. Don't have a clue. Okay, they don't know anything about the areas that they're working in. Okay, so that's on the company. But they're not the only company. There are other places that you don't get the quality of service that you want. And don't get me started on self-checkouts, because the price is the same. Actually, the price is higher than before self-checkout. Price is higher. And you want me to go get it, bring it up to the front, work and check myself out. You're not paying me. I've not been trained on this. I don't know anything about this. And you just want me to go through. You got one lady standing there in the front who really don't want to be bothered. It is just atrocious the way American corporations treat us. So stand up and do something about it, Melanated. Well, Melanated, that's my rant for today. Touch feet to soil. Take in a lot of sunlight, a little moonlight if you can. But most of all, Melanated, love your melanated self. Be blessed.